Hey, I'm with Gabriel, is it Yeung?
Yeah,
Yeung?
yeah.
I'm Gabriel Yeung, and I'll start that again. Good job, this is edited. I'm with Gabriel Yeung, and he is the inventor. Is it inventor, creator?
Not really. Co-founder of the company.
Okay, co-founder of Harmless. Do you say the website name when you give your name?
We say the Harmless Company. Like
Harmless
it's
Company.
our full name.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's quite a deep name when you think about it. Like, are you harmless? Entirely harmless?
Not really. We're not totally harmless. Like it's impossible to be absolutely harmless, but we try our best to harm less and protect more. And
Okay.
it's the best way to be harmless.
Okay.
Yep.
And how are you harming less today in Hong Kong, especially? What are you doing to harm less?
Yeah, so the Harmless Company specializes in environmentally friendly wholesale and retail, and we are currently focusing on paper straw. And the way that we harm less is that we source some paper straw from some FSC certified forests that ensure that the trees can grow up again. And at the same time, for every 10,000 straws, we plant a tree in Hong Kong. And we also use social media to raise environmental awareness. And we also sometimes we organize some activities like ocean cleanup in Hong Kong.
Are you finding that the product that you make, and along with the environmental initiatives that you're doing, is it offsetting basically the carbon footprint of the business? That's a bit of a weird question, but
I think that we try our best to minimize the waste. Like as I've said, we only use eco-friendly paper to make the straw, and we think that that's not good enough. So we want to like compensate and add even more trees. So we have the planting activity in Hong Kong. Yeah.
okay.
I'm a fresh graduate from HKU, and my major politics and geography, and they are not really entirely related to my own business, but it's kind of related because like geography is about how do we manage human activities and develop in a sustainable way. So although I haven't learned anything about like manufacturing or wholesale, but it somehow inspired me to start this business.
But you're learning that now.
Yep.
And adding to your skill set.
Yep.
So with your background that you trained for, what made you jump into manufacturing a straw?
I think that after 4 years of study at HKU, I think that I simply want to change the world bit by bit. Like, but it's difficult to change Hong Kong in terms of politics. So I prefer to go to business and like try to change the behavior of people by selling environmentally friendly products.
I think that's a good point. Politics does seem to sort of lumber,
Yep.
sort of like a turtle.
Yep.
Businesses are sort of like the hare, so
Yeah.
you can make more progress in that regard.
Yeah, that's true.
But what motivated you to make a straw? I mean, why start there?
So everything like started when I finished my final exams, and I went to a bar by myself, and then it was my first time to use a straw, use a paper straw in Hong Kong, and I think that it was really pretty and good for the environment. So then a few days later, I start researching about it, and then very soon I invited my good friend from university to join business. So then we co-founded the Harmless Company because we simply want to let Hong Kong people to use good products like this. So we don't want to wait other companies to do it. We want to do it by ourselves.
Your friend, your co-founder, does he have the relevant degrees, or does he have something that's
We have the same degree.
Oh, you have the same degree, okay.
Yeah.
And what's the problem with the current straws that you find in Hong Kong? Obviously there's plastic ones, but there's also going to be straws that maybe an average consumer might not actually be able to understand the environmental impact of.
Yes, yes. So apart from paper straw, one so-called eco-friendly straw is the PLA straw. It's plant-based plastics, and it can be made with many kinds of plants, maybe sugarcane or avocado. But this kind of PLA straws are not suitable to be used in Hong Kong, because this kind of straws, they are actually plastic. Like, they are better than conventional plastic like PP or PE, but it still requires some requirements to decompose. For example, they need some wet and hot and some open area to decompose. So landfill may not be good for them to decompose. And also they require recycling facilities, but Hong Kong is lacking PLA recycling facilities. So actually, although they have stronger structure than paper straw, but we still refuse to sell these kind of straws, because we think that they're not really good for the environment and they're not suitable in Hong Kong.
Okay, so most people won't be able to understand the difference. They'll see a paper straw, but it's actually got like a plastic lining to it.
Yes.
And they think they're doing their bit for the environment, but actually then it's making no difference.
Yes, that's true. But sadly, some companies in Hong Kong, even I think Pacific Coffee, a large chain coffee shop, will start to use this kind of straw. And but yeah, I think that we'll try to contact them and let them know how it works.
How long did it take for you to come up with the idea of a paper straw? And for those that haven't seen it yet, I guess we better show it as an example. So this straw is entirely made of paper, and I'm curious as to how, when we'll get into it, but how you've made it so durable. But how long did it take for you to come up with the idea and then actually have a viable product?
Yes. I think that we took about 2 months to make a concept into the product. And so first of all, we have to compare many kinds of straws. And we have also considered stainless steel and glass straw, which are quite popular, but we think that they are not entirely hygienic and convenient for people to use. And it's also difficult to make less eco-friendly people to use them. So we prefer to go to the restaurants and to sell eco-friendly but disposable straw. So then we compare different eco-friendly disposable straw, and we think that paper straw is the most economic and eco-friendly solution. So then we contacted with many manufacturers and to see which one is the most eco-friendly and has the most good quality. Yep.
Okay. What interests me a lot is the fact that you both don't have a background in manufacturing something like this.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering, you're also saying it only took you 2 months, but that seems kind of easy. Was it easy? Because you're effectively someone who's starting from scratch. You're just saying, oh, this is my idea to make something to help the environment. And then somehow, 2 months later, you have it.
Yep. It's not easy, but not difficult nowadays, because it's easier to search for manufacturers around the world online. So we found a lot of factories, and we order samples from them, and we study the straws. So then we find the best quality.
Okay, and it's their paper. How did you come up with the right type of paper? Did you, like you say, contacted manufacturers and you tested it, or did you know something that you could add to their paper creation? That's my understanding of it. I'm trying to figure that out.
Yep. Actually, we didn't add anything to the straw, but we compare the manufacturing quality and the paper quality they use. And so recently we have improved the quality of our straw. For the straw you see now, it has 3 layers of paper, but then we found a new manufacturer that can produce 4 layers of paper, produce a straw with 4 layers of paper that has better durability. And yes.
So this is actually quite a common paper. It's not something special that you've created yourself and you have like the KFC special ingredient.
Yeah.
This is someone's already producing this and you've reappropriated it to turn it into a straw.
Yeah. So it actually has not big differentiation. So we at this stage we are focusing on wholesale. But later on, actually, now we have started to develop our own product. But it is not straw; it's a reusable lunchbox. So we are making a prototype, and we are generating ideas
For a lunchbox?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a collapsible and reusable lunchbox.
And then compostable, is it? I mean, how does someone dispose of it environmentally friendly?
We are still studying the materials for that lunchbox, but at this stage, we are thinking about how to collapse it and how do make it attractive to customers. Yes.
Okay. Why hasn't then? Okay. Let me conclude some of this. So you had no background in this type of product design.
Yes.
And then you found a type of paper that someone already else makes. So it seems to me that it's a very easy solution. So why hasn't anybody else done it?
I think that the major difficulty is that this paper straw is quite expensive. Like compared with conventional plastic straw, it's 10 times more expensive than the plastic straw. So we understand that it's difficult to make to help the restaurants to make change. So our business model is about we want to help our clients to earn more due to environmental awareness. So we actively use social media to help all of our clients to promote their best food and food, because we think that the clients shouldn't lose money for the environment. They should gain more actually. So we try to attract more customers to go to these kind of eco-friendly restaurants, and to encourage them to make change for the environment.
And what's the take-up like? Are people interested? Are these businesses interested in your straw, and are you making progress with them?
So far so good, and we are currently supplying to canteens in 4 universities, including HKU, CHK, UST, and Education University. And we are also supplying to some cafes, restaurants, and bars.
How many universities, and this is kind of off topic, but how many universities are there in Hong Kong?
8 in total.
So you've got 50% of the university market.
But not all the canteens inside these universities are using.
Because they have more than one and different suppliers.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you trying to get all the canteens from a specific university sort of under your umbrella? Your control?
Yeah. We try to get more, and but not every company are willing to make change.
Why is that?
Simply because of the cost. Like some canteens inside campuses are ran by large chain restaurants, but they are not really passionate in changing this.
Okay, and you've spoken to them directly?
Yeah.
Right, and why aren't they interested?
I think that they mainly concern about the price, and another problem is that some universities abandon straw totally, like even they cannot use, they don't encourage restaurants to use paper straw.
Okay.
Yes, like Bad Tips University, and so it's almost impossible for us to sell to restaurants in these kind of schools.
Okay, I have two questions from this. You keep mentioning the price.
Yep.
How much are we talking for your straw?
It's about 13 cents, like for
Hong Kong cents.
Hong Kong cents.
That's like 2 US cents.
Yeah, roughly.
8, 16, just under 2 US cents.
Yeah.
Per straw.
Yeah.
Okay. And competitor straws are cheaper than that?
Yeah. For plastic, like it's 0.001.
Whoa. Okay.
Or 0.01. Yeah. 0.01.
Right. So even on first appearance, like straw that's 2 US cents can seem really cheap, but then when you go into decimal places of prices, and I'm assuming you're buying in bulk, that 2 cents actually adds up to something that's more expensive. So what? It's like 10 times more expensive?
10 times? Yeah, 10 times at least. Yep.
Right. Okay. So that's quite a hurdle.
Yeah.
What can you do about that?
So we, for our marketing segment, we only go to segments that we think that they have higher environmental awareness, or they are more high end. They sell more expensive food, so they have the ability to afford.
Right, they can justify the extra cost.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
My other part to this question, because it's a two-parter, is, and you've just mentioned it, about some universities are not even going to get into using straws.
Yep.
So in one sense, we don't actually need straws, do we?
I think that we don't need straw for every time we drink, but for ice drinks, I think that is really more convenient and at least more comfortable to our teeth. And so for ice drinks, personally, I prefer straws. But for drinks without ice or hot drinks, we definitely don't need straws.
Okay, I know there's a big argument, or there was a big argument online where they're trying to shift people's perceptions away from using straws entirely and get rid of the plastic straw, and there's this sort of worldwide initiative to sort of raise awareness about, well, do you really need a straw? Mm-hmm. And some places have stopped selling it. Nutsy, for example, they don't use straws here. Mm-hmm. They're straw free. And some people are saying, well, disabled people need straws, so we still need plastic straws. Metal straws aren't good enough because they're too hard, and if someone has a severe sort of physical condition, then they can't get their lips around a metal straw. It's too hard. Silicone ones can be too soft. So they're saying, well, we still need straws.
Yeah, for disabled people, some of them need straw, and for us, I think that for the context of Hong Kong, it really takes time to abandon plastic straws for the government. So I think that paper straw is a good short-term measure to reduce plastic straws, because I think that we cannot get away all the plastic straws. So why don't we use some eco-friendly alternatives at this moment?
Would you consider it like a stopgap?
Yeah.
Like
maybe.
a temporary solution.
Yes.
To then further eliminating a straw. Is
Yes.
that why you're making a lunchbox? Is that like the next step?
I think that we don't want to limit it ourselves with straws. So we want to reduce disposable waste in other areas, like maybe lunchbox or bags and something like that.
Okay, I have a question on
Yep.
the live stream. Someone's asking. Let's have a look here. Are you marketing the straws outside of Hong Kong? The US loves straws.
Yeah, that's true. So currently, we only sell our straw in Hong Kong, and we also have some distributors in Macau, but we currently haven't started to engage with US or Europe companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
No plans to.
Yeah, maybe not because it's difficult to go to foreign market because we don't own a factory.
Right.
So we cannot sell products at a very low price.
Okay. I read this week the headline of an article that I've yet to read, but the headline was Americans use 3 rolls of toilet. So the average American uses 3 rolls of toilet paper per week.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm not going to ask you how much you use per week.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
But there does seem to be like some people would consider that wasteful in one sense. You're not being very economical with that kind of paper.
Yep.
Paper still takes up a large amount of resources, and the article that I have half read, so please, I'm kind of mansplaining here. It is having an effect on the rainforests, the forests in Canada, because that's the source of most of the most of the paper.
Yep.
Yeah, and even though that's a paper solution, it's still kind of, when you look at it relatively speaking, it's still like horrifying. Do we really need to use that much paper? And we haven't got like a reusable solution.
Yep.
So it's like the opposite. Here is a disposable item,
Yes.
and I like this idea, even though I have a metal straw. But then toilet paper is like the reverse of that, where we need something that maybe it shouldn't be single use.
I'm not sure. Like I've also thought about tissue, like toilet paper, but I don't know. I think that it has to be disposable. But some people like started to making bamboo toilet paper. Have you heard of it?
No.
So
You can reuse it.
not really. It's also disposable.
Okay.
But it's made with bamboo, and bamboo grow faster. You don't have to cut off many trees. So it's a better alternative. Yep.
Right. It still has an environmental impact, though. I think everything or anything at scale is still going to have an environmental impact.
Yes, I agree. So I understand that every product has this environmental impact. So so that's why for every 10,000 straws, it's like a carton. And so after we sold a carton, we will plant a tree. So it kind of compensate the paper we use, and we additionally we add more tree in the world.
Where are you planting the trees?
We cooperate with some NGOs or some villagers in Hong Kong.
Okay, so it's not you physically planting the tree while you're redesigning lunchboxes and straws.
We actually will plant the trees in this month or next month. Yeah.
Okay.
So we will actually go there to plant a tree together with other people.
Okay.
Yep.
I shared with Gabriel before we started a little news article about avocado pits being used as a sort of alternative to plastic when it comes to knives, forks, and straws. And you immediately noticed a problem with it. Now, me, I'm still the average consumer of items. I thought to myself, oh, this is great, just entirely biodegradable and it's made from avocado pits. But you pointed out that it's a bioplastic.
Yeah, it's bioplastic.
And so, like, I don't want to rehash the beginning of the conversation, but you said that these things are going to be difficult to recycle or reprocess, even though on the face of it, avocado is something that the average person can see and say, oh, then it's environmentally friendly.
Yes.
So my question is, how can we not get caught up in the moment and see, oh, avocado, right, I'm going to buy that.
Yes.
And then you're led down you have this false belief that you're doing something good for the environment, but you're not.
Yes. So I think that if we want to figure a straw out to see whether it's genuinely eco-friendly, first of all, we have to remember the word PLA. Like if you see PLA,
not People's Liberation Army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so for PLA, they are plant-based plastics. So many companies claim that their straws are made with plants entirely. Like, but actually, they are not that good for the environment if you don't have the PLA recycling facilities, because like, although they are made with plants, they're actually plastics. Like, you know, as conventional plastics like PP, they're made with natural materials as well. Like, so it's important to know whether it's bioplastics or PLA, and before you buy some eco-friendly straws.
Right. So even if you can't buy this straw, at least just look out for this PLA. Yeah. We should all be wary of the PLA anyway, without making this too political. But PLA, remember those three letters.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had any criticisms of your straw? Besides the price.
Besides the price, actually, few people, not many people criticize our straw. Like, some of them may think that it's not hard enough, it's not durable enough. But actually, I agree. It's not a perfect solution, like, but it's acceptable to us. And we think that if you don't bite or poke it, it's okay to drink with our paper straw for 2 to 3 hours. Yep.
Yeah, you made that claim when we first met, and Gabriel said that this is good for 2 hours. And I think a lot of people's experiences with straws is that it just starts to unravel within the first 10, 15 minutes of use.
Yep.
There is an accompanying video that I've already made it, but it will be released when I release this YouTube video. But basically, I tested another straw that Gabriel gave me in a jar of water for 2 hours, and I'm happy to say that it lasted 2 hours, and I had to flex it, and there was still some give to it, so you could still use it even after 2 hours, until I just started to mash it. But what was interesting, again, this is just paper, and typically, in my experience, when you wet one side of paper, the water is soaked through to the other side. And actually, when I took the straw out, like, let's say I filled it up this high, this part was completely dry. The water wasn't traveling up. So you still had a dry straw where it felt entirely rigid here when I'm squeezing it. And this side was floppy, but you still had suction. There was no air. There was no air gaps or anything like that. So it just blew me away. I was like, whoa, okay. So I tested that. I didn't tell Gabriel I was going to test it though. He gave me some samples, but I don't think you expected me to test it.
Yeah, I didn't expect it.
And I was like, I'm going to be sneaky. I'm going to see if he's pulling my leg on this one. But no, seriously, this lasts for 2 hours, which is more than enough for someone to have a drink with.
Glad
one
to
drink
know
at
this.
least.
Yeah.
Okay. My last question is not so much about straw, but what are you doing personally to sort of be more harmless? What do you do in your personal life? You put all this effort into a professional sort of job and business. So what do you do personally?
So personally, like, I try to do some routine eco-friendly stuff. Like I recycle. I try to use less water. But I think that more importantly, I think that it's not enough to just reduce waste by myself. So usually, like, I try to influence my friends, family, like to reduce waste together. Like I actually managed to influence some friends to recycle more, and I think that more people is definitely than less people for the environment.
With your background, I guess, now in plastics, do you find it more difficult to recycle plastics? Like, some people don't realize that a toothbrush can't actually be recycled, and it's a waste of time, and that's why I think it's very important that we should just get off plastic toothbrushes at least. Do you find yourself, I mean, what do you do with your plastic? Do you find, well, I can't recycle this, so I'm going to throw it away? Or do you just still put it in the recycle bin It's not a trick question. I'm not trying to catch you out.
Yeah.
But you have a better understanding
Yes,
of what plastics can and can't do.
Yes. So for recyclable plastics, I definitely recycle them. But for some materials with plastic, for example, maybe some paper with some plastic layer, you cannot recycle it. So it's inevitable to throw it away. So the only way is to minimize the waste that we cause. But I agree that like it's impossible to be totally harmless. It's only a mentality or attitude to try our best to harm less.
That's interesting because I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about zero waste. You understand? You know what zero waste is?
Yes.
And they were talking about how you can't actually be 100% zero waste. And I think they were looking at it at the entirety of all the waste that we generate.
Yes.
And at the moment, I have a podcast about zero waste.
Yes.
And I'm trying to eliminate certain things. And I think on a macro level, I can zero waste certain things. But nature is entirely zero waste. Nothing in nature is left to waste.
Yes.
So that makes me think, well, we're doing something wrong until we invent something that allows us to entirely just create no waste from that. So in the long term, I think we can have, hopefully, an entirely harmless effect on the planet, or a neutral effect. That's my belief. But at the moment, all you can do is minimize, and then just minimize.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, good. I'm glad you agree. I like people who agree with me. What's your Instagram? Because you have an Instagram, and interestingly, you don't just photograph, or you don't just have an Instagram full of straws.
Yes.
It's actually environmental things, but it's mostly Chinese memes and stuff. Is that right?
Not only memes. Like we have Instagram accounts. It's called HarmlessHK, and we called it as an eco-friendly sharing platform. Like we share some maybe tips or some information about the environment. Like because we think that we don't want to be just a normal business. We also want to be an educator or an advocator. Like because we think that it's important to let more people know that how can they reduce waste, or let them know our straws, or let them know like other inspiration around the world. Like
Okay, and do you have a Facebook page?
Okay. It's called the Harmless Company.
Harmless Company. So the Instagram is
HarmlessHK.
HarmlessHK, and then the Facebook page is Harmless Company.
Yep.
Okay. And any other social media?
No.
That's it. Okay. Because Facebook and Instagram are pretty much the thing here. There's no Twitter account.
No, we don't.
No. Are you going to get a Twitter account?
Maybe, but it's not very popular in Hong Kong.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like a catch-22. If nobody in Hong Kong gets on Twitter, then everyone says, "Oh, there's nothing on Twitter for me in Hong Kong."
Yeah.
That's the problem. I'm trying to get everybody that I sort of sit down and have a chat with. I will follow them with my Twitter account. So then there's always like a reference of. An easy reference for guests to sort of either acknowledge each other, network with each other, or viewers can sort of network as well from outside. But it depends on obviously your goals as well, or the guests' goals. Okay, thank you for your time.
No problem.
I don't have any other questions, unless there's any questions in the chat. Bayshore, do you have another question? Have any current straw manufacturers contacted you about your product? Thanks.
Manufacturers contact us?
Yeah.
You mean like you mean paper straw?
Yeah.
Manufacturers don't usually contact us actively. Like usually we reached out to manufacturers and to cooperate with them.
What resources were available to you in Hong Kong, in so much as that you're next to Shenzhen? So did the manufacturer come from Hong Kong, or were you manufacturing it in Shenzhen? Where is the factory and your business relationships to create this straw?
Our factory is in China. Because in Hong Kong we don't have paper straw factories.
So Shenzhen or somewhere else in China?
Somewhere further.
Okay. And how is that relationship? Because it's technically another country.
Yeah.
Like, how easy is it to sort of network and collaborate with a factory in China?
It's actually not too difficult to communicate with them. Like we email, they like we email or even WeChat.
Okay.
Like so, it's pretty quick to get a response usually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's entirely seamless. It doesn't matter if it's in Hong Kong or not. Then I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not a big problem.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So that's actually my last question. So, thank you, Beishaw. And,
Thank you.
Thank you for everyone watching on this video.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.